Welcome
back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Oh, snap, dude. I think. Oh, snap.
Oh, my bad.
I totally interrupted
today
you.
we got 3. We're literally cramped up, but that's good. That's a blessing right there. Like always, I forgot what number episode it is.
I think this is actually the 11th one, I think.
11th one?
Yeah, I think this is the 11th one.
Oh, okay. So 11th one. Hey, you okay? Oh.
Watch us be actually completely
I think on the last one.
probably 12. Or 12.
I think on the last one we were wrong because I looked and I was like, oh, we were way off. I think we were like 2 or 3 off.
Yeah, dude. I noticed that last time because I think I checked also. I think a couple days ago, and I was like, I remember like being so confident with it.
But but yeah, welcome to another episode of Clueless. Today we got an interesting topic, but you guys know me. I'm Josh.
I'm Salen.
And we got a new guest, Sal.
Sal de Dios, bro.
Yeah. The salt you put on your fish.
Pablo. It's calling Pablo already.
There you go.
I'll change it to that anyways one day. So.
There you go.
We're gonna call him Salty Fish, so the ladies
Salty.
know that he's salty. He's salty.
He's
He's all salty. Ladies,
I ain't salty about nothing.
He gets salty.
I ain't salty about nothing.
Nah, but
Don't call me that.
instantly shows his saltiness.
That's not me.
I'm peaceful.
That's not peaceful,
Hey.
bro.
Shalom to everyone.
He gets all angry. He gets all angry. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, bro.
hey, nah, but yeah, welcome to a new episode. And today we actually have a good topic. Don't really have a title for it, but it's very interesting. It has to involve, a relationship and whatnot. So it's gonna be good. So we're gonna go ahead and hop on it. So I'm gonna ask you guys real quick, real quick.
Shoot.
Do you guys enjoy being in a relationship when you are, or if you are, or when you are?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I think I truly do enjoy being in a relationship. I think it's always fun to be with a person that you genuinely love and have feelings for, especially when that situation is like super healthy. I think that is like when you could truly enjoy like a good relationship.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, I like that. Good facts. When it's a healthy relationship. But I wanted to talk to you about like, in a Christian aspects. Like, what do you guys think in a Christian aspects on dating?
Honestly, okay. Are we talking about? Because I know we were talking about this previously, just a little bit before we started the podcast. Are we talking about like our age, or are we talking about younger, or are we talking about just in general?
Just in general.
Just in general. Okay.
Everyone.
That's good.
Okay. In a Christian, I think the label means absolutely nothing. I think Christian or non-Christian, I think it depends on the maturity of the person. I think it depends on if you're willing to listen and willing to. I think it starts with 3. If you're ready for a relationship, if you know what you want, and if you're willing to sacrifice the necessary to have it.
Okay, explain some sacrifices. Like, what's an important sacrifice do you think?
Appreciate the sport.
When you
Nah, I like it. It's true.
when you say sacrifice, give me one example. Like, one example of a sacrifice.
This day and age, loyalty. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't expect that, did you?
I did not expect that one. Okay, I was expecting something more like
Yeah, there you go, bro.
Okay,
Deep into that loyalty though.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, I want to go deep into that.
Okay. Honestly, as far as loyalty, I think, and that's why I say like the key word is this day and age. Something I saw years ago. I remember seeing that our grandparents, like our great parents or great grandparents, they only knew the people from their town, right?
Yeah.
So it was really shunned for people to be like caught cheating, right? Even more than it is now. Now it's super frowned upon. Yeah. Now it's kind of like, oh, that's weird, but it's also kind of like not crazy to hear of. It's almost like a norm.
It's becoming regular.
Exactly. It's very regular.
They applaud it.
Exactly. To a point, yeah. To a point, it's more of like, look at, when you think of like an F boy or a city boy, you think of Drake, you think of Future, you think of I don't know. I mean, I don't really keep up with the rap game.
Sensational.
But you think, yes, sensational. Cheesecake.
Oh, we need to add that.
Oh, we did.
Sensational.
No. But you almost thought like, okay, let's go. Or like city grows up, you know, they start thinking about all that stuff, you know, going to Miami and all that stuff.
Ski.
Ski. I was gonna say ski.
Yeah, but yeah, but
You know, we believe in God, but we know a little bit about
Yeah.
about what's going on out
Hey,
there. The ski, we know a little
Get
bit.
to know your enemy, you know.
Okay, I mean, those are all valid points. They're very good points, very very good points. I actually I like him, and so I would ask you. I mean, especially since you're a leader as well, what kind of advice would you give? And I'm assuming like you know being like in the Christian, you know what I'm saying, in church. What advice would you give? Like what are two advices you would give to like youngsters or adults or anybody when it comes to dating? Because well, there's no because. Just that's it. That's the question.
This is gonna get real deep there. But no, I honestly, dude. Okay, it depends on the age, right? Like, look, if you're still in high school, like the reality is that you got your whole life ahead of you. Like, I'm not saying that your relationship is not valid. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying your emotions are not valid. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that you got a whole life ahead of you. There's a whole lot of emotions that are being ran through right now at the moment of like what you're feeling. And it's scary, man. So what I think it's best is to be able to sit down with someone to really be able to be like, hey, yo, I'm going to give like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling insecure. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling in love. I'm feeling this. But having someone that is fully like there for you and be like, all right, like, okay, you're still young. You're still this. Relax. Don't think so much. And I'm not saying about marriage because that should be your end goal. But I think at the moment it's like, okay, you need to build yourself up for. I'm going to speak more about the men because that's what I am. But as a man, as a young man, you need to build yourself up to be a proper man, to be able to hold down that woman that you want. Because let's be real, guys. Like, love isn't going to pay the bills. Love isn't going to pay, you know, the gas. It isn't going to pay, you know, when she's upset. Are you going to be able to communicate? Are you going to be able to, you know, ignore that woman that's hitting you up on the side because she doesn't care that you got a girl? Are you going to be able to hold yourself down? Are you able to hold down not just yourself but a woman? Like, these are the questions that you got to be asking because it's not Disney, bro. It's real life.
Those are all good points, bro. Like I'm liking what you're saying because like a bunch of stuff is coming through my head right now and I can't wait. You know, like
ooh,
it's ooh. You know, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. So okay, so man, I lost the train of thought of my next question. It was a question kind of I guess following up.
If you want, I think Saulo said or salt of the earth. Over here. Yeah, you wanted to mention a little bit deeper on loyalty because I did say that like I think it's something you said was a lot of people it's normal and people almost applaud it. They don't, but I feel like a lot of people do applaud it. But what is your take in that?
Because you said loyalty as a sacrifice, like to me, I think that should just be a give. That should just be
A stand
as you get into a relationship.
A minimum.
Yeah,
a standard.
That should be a standard.
An obligation.
Off rip. Yeah, off rip. Like you shouldn't even have to talk about that. Because it should just be something that should already be there. You know.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not, then
what are you doing?
there's a problem.
Yeah.
There's a huge problem. You know.
So I think
there should be a money in my account too, but sometimes nah.
Hey.
Talk your trash. Let them know, John.
But sometimes there isn't.
Yeah, but sometimes that's crazy.
Yeah, they do, and then
That's crazy.
it's also around like the people, your friends that you have around you. You know, that's what I mean by they applaud that like cheating or having like side chicks or having a side dude or something like that. Yeah. It could be that the friends that you have around you. Yeah. That could be applauding that kind of behavior. It might not be applauded out and about, but in your circle, it might be applauded in there.
Hey, you got to get closer to the mic because it sounds sometimes. I agree what he's saying. I mean, that's why it says, show me 5 of your friends and I can tell you who you are. Yeah. Like, that's why that saying is there because it's 100% true. So
I take that serious too. I look at the friends, bro.
Yeah.
I really look at the friends because I'm like, if you're a girl, your girlfriend be doing some like, some stuff on the side, I'm like,
I like it. These guys are talking like
because
we're talking about from experience.
It's like think about it, bro. If you got 2 girlfriends that are like on some stuff and you're the only good girl, come on, like
Hey, that's
At
true.
some
Double trouble,
point,
bro.
you're probably either you were in there and you got out, or you're going in there because they're your friends. So you're gonna get influenced by it.
It's like like
I
the
agree.
Bible. The Bible states, you know, you want to build your foundation off of rock, not sand.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're right. No, I agree
Yeah.
with it. And I think the reason why I said before we give back to Josh, because I know you had some killer questions right now. But I think
I got some stuff. Oh, continue.
No,
I'm
no,
just,
yeah, I'm
just
excited,
saying, I got
dude.
some stuff, man.
but I think the reason why I said that is because in this day and age, it's so easy to like you said, dude, have a side chick or have a side man, you know, whatever it is.
Definitely.
And like you said, it should be a norm, bro. It should like back in the day, it was so normal to bring flowers to your woman, to always open the door, to always like, hey, you know, girl, I got, or like communication,
Correct.
Or you know, not. Or being like wearing your heart in your sleeve, but nowadays you want to be the dark and mysterious guy.
Being a gentleman.
Yeah, being a gentleman, and that's even ahora que te dices. If you do it, then te llaman mandilón. You know, they call you a simp, or they're like, or I was talking about this to my coworker, one of my mentors, and he was saying like straight up, he's like, yeah, man, if you do that, they were like, quickly, even your own friends will be like straight up like, oh, she's gonna cheat on you, or like, nah, why are you doing all that stuff? Is she gonna be finding another dude like that?
Yeah, nah.
And it's like, bro, that's crazy.
It
So
is.
now
it is kind of crazy.
Nice guys finish last, man.
But that's
nice
but
guys
that's a
finish-
mentality that society has put in our head.
That's why to me, it's like, don't be a nice guy, be a good guy.
So
A good man, yeah.
So,
Be a good guy. There's two different things: being a nice guy and being a good guy.
So
A
you-
nice guy gets stepped all over. A good guy, he can put his foot down when he needs to put it down and be like, "Hey, don't do that. You're disrespecting me now." You know?
So you guys
Yeah.
all bring good points, and you guys all bring like, I don't want to say those were all like negative, but those were all kind of like, you know, like it's kind of heavy on a relationship. So let me ask you guys:
True.
should and does it help to have a relation? Like, should there be like, should people? Would you recommend people to be in a relationship? Like, should there be or should there not be? Or you know what I'm saying? Like what's your take on that? Like,
can you re-elaborate a little bit on that? Like, on what
Like,
sense?
you think teens and adults
teens,
and
okay,
whatever
okay,
should date? Like what do you think? You think they should date? Does dating help them? Does dating like advance them, help them, and just get them into a different or a better life?
Experience? Yeah, dude. Honestly, dude. Honestly, I think experience does help. Now, when I say experience, I'm not saying go out there and freaking, you know, lick every pool you got. You know? Pause. But I mean, like, or just kind of go out there and do something.
Unless you've been through that already.
For real. But like, what I'm saying here is, boys, what I'm saying here is that I'm not saying to fall in love like with every person situation that you're in. What I'm saying is that, you know, you should go out and you should go and figure out your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I go out or Saulo goes out and like talks and dates this girl for a couple months and says, you know what, I just don't like her attitude, bro. And like, why? Oh, because, you know, she's just mean, or maybe she doesn't give me, like, she doesn't reciprocate the same emotions, like the same love. Mm-hmm. Hey, Saulo has every right for him to be like, hey, girl, I don't want anything with you. Mm-hmm. Why? Well, we can work it out. I just don't want to work it out. You know, I just feel like I don't want to waste my time here. And that, or sorry, correction is invest my time in this, and then he can. And he
Hey,
can.
that was good.
That
was good.
When I hop on, I'm about to spit some fire, man. When I hop on this mic, y'all ain't ready. I don't think y'all ready. Are y'all ready?
Super hot fire.
Hey, what do you gotta say to that, Saulo?
Oh, that was good.
Guy Fury.
That was really good.
I'm taking the Flavor Town.
What I want to get into as well is like learning about your emotions and how to actually communicate. Because a lot of people don't know how to communicate, man. They don't know how to communicate, and it's so crazy. And I think communication is just...
But where do you learn how to communicate?
Through experience, bro.
Through experience.
Experience.
Through feeling like it's time that you need to grow.
Oh.
It's like,
okay.
It's something inside of you that you feel it, because for a long time, even I felt like that. Like, I couldn't communicate at all.
Okay.
And at some point, I was like, dude, you know what? I'm tired of this. And I decided to finally grow up. And I was like, you know what? I need to learn how to understand my own emotions. And I need to learn how to, like, talk about it, you know? Not to be scared that somebody's going to reject me. Because if they do reject it, it's like, okay, it's cool, you know? Like, that's how you feel. And they don't have the right to tell you can't feel like that, you know?
Ooh.
They don't. Nobody has the right to ever tell you how you need to feel, especially because everybody grows up very differently. Everybody has a different way of understanding things, taking in information, letting information out, and they need to learn how to get out of their own shoes and their own perspective. Hop into the next person's shoes and be like, you know what? They kind of got a point. And then you can reflect on that and be like, you know what? My bad. I didn't mean for it to come out this way. I didn't mean for me to say this, you know, because I didn't know you took it like that, but you know what? I'll work on that.
That's a good. Hey, that was
Fucking with
on
that.
point. You know, I'm gonna give you an applause for that.
I've worked on that a lot.
That
I've
was
worked on
on
that
point. That was good.
Pablo dropping facts.
I
Sale de la tierra.
I can't shut that down. No, yes, I can. Nah, man.
He's like, I like that, but
I'm telling you,
Hey,
we
nah.
need that butter, bro.
Listen,
we need that.
listen. Y'all want to hit this fire now or later?
Let's
What?
not. Let's hear it. Let's
You
hear
guys
it.
wanna-
Let's
alright.
let's hit it.
You want to hear? You want to hear
it
the non-Christian way, or the Christian? You know what? I only speak the Christian way. You know, because I feel I'm representing God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Hey, clears his throat, bro.
I gotta get ready for this.
Crazy.
I will
Wow.
say though, you don't find a good girlfriend, you find a wife. You
Listen,
don't find a girlfriend. you find a
listen.
wife.
One, and all of you guys are gonna hate me for this. One, you don't need relationship. I'm 100% convinced that you don't need relationship.
Why?
If
Yeah,
you're
why?
if you're chasing, you should always want to chase God. You got to fall in love with God first, and you find out how to communicate through God. You find out how to love, real love. Like if you love somebody, wouldn't you want to give them everything you possibly can? Wouldn't you want to treat that woman to the highest, like a queen, like to the best you can? You know what I'm saying? To the best of the best you can. The only way you can find the best is through God.
That's true.
And if you don't know the best through God, how can you give that to a woman? That
That's
I say
facts,
that
low-key.
when people ask
Yeah.
me, I'd be like, if I can't be loyal to God, I'm not gonna be loyal to a girl. I gotta be loyal to God first. Once I'm
Facts.
loyal to God, then I can be loyal to a girl.
That's facts.
Bro, I'm about to start spinning some fire. Listen,
Nah, that was
listen,
fire.
women.
That's actually facts.
Listen,
That was
women.
facts,
That's
bro.
why. That's why. Listen,
I've always
listen.
thought about it like that.
That's why the saying, "Good things come to those who wait," even in a non-Christian world, is there. It's there for a reason, because when you wait and you're patient, the right one's gonna come. It's the same way spiritually. You know what I'm saying? If you fall in love with God, it says, "Seek the kingdom and the righteousness of heaven." Is that how it goes? And everything else will fall in place. What does that mean? That means the wife you want. That means if you literally write it down, like, listen, I want a blonde, 6 foot gym addict that loves God. I guarantee you that's exactly what you're gonna get if you're seeking God. If you have it written down, that's what you're gonna get. So what does that mean? You don't need a date for experience. You don't need that. All you gotta do is pray, fall in love with God. It's gonna come to you, because
All right. I somewhat agree with that.
You need to find your wife, not dating.
I somewhat agree with that.
Somebody spit something back to me. Come on, let's go.
I somewhat agree with that because
Spit
when
your
I was
facts.
saying right now that I had to grow up, it's because of God. It wasn't just me. Like I had
Yeah.
to grow up. It's like God was putting me in situations where, like, emotionally, I was feeling so low,
Yeah.
where I had to understand how I was feeling to really be like, okay, let me analyze what's going on. What is my part in this? What am I doing that is making me feel like this, or is going so wrong?
But that's why
for
you
me
don't
to
need
feel
dating
like
though.
that? No, yeah, you don't. Yeah, I mean,
I wanna-
I'm a little on and off about that. I still haven't even made up my mind
listen,
about
listen.
that, but because it's like,
Okay,
you
listen,
can say
listen.
you just need a female friend and they can help you,
Oh.
but at the same time, it's like you're
Is-
putting
is there a
yourself.
marker?
You're putting yourself.
Is
in
there a marker
situation
over
where
there?
it's like, dude, like, you know, like
In the whiteboard.
you're
Listen.
on the edge. You're on the edge. You're
Alright,
pushing me
alright,
too close
alright.
to the edge. Like, don't
Alright,
push
listen,
me, it's
listen,
not my
listen.
fault.
If you write down pros and cons, what good does relationship bring you, and that you can't get just as a friend, and then when it's time just to get married? If you go pros and cons, I guarantee you there will be more cons than pros. And if there's more pros, and if there's more cons than pros, it's not godly. Period. There's no hot and cold.
Then this is my question.
in
Then are we
between.
talking about godly relationships, or are we just talking about relationships in
Well,
general? Because
well,
not
relationship
everybody is with
because-
God. Because if you're with God, I understand what you're talking about.
Well, relationship and giving advice, like that's the advice I would give someone. Be like, hey, is there a marker? No marker? Ah, dang. Okay, no marker.
But if that
That's why.
that advice would be really good if they have a relationship with God already.
Nah, bro,
No,
that
because
don't fly.
no,
That-
because
think it would be
even
good.
if they're non-Christian, you tell them, hey, listen, if you wait and you're patient and just pray, like the right one is gonna come. Even it's still good advice for people that aren't Christian, because that's why the saying, "Good things come to those who wait." That's why it's there. So even in a non-Christian world, you know what I'm saying? Because if you just go around and be like, yeah, date, like you're essentially just provoking bad and not good. Because like if you're doing it for experience and you don't like the way she talks and you break up with her because of that or because of her attitude, you're essentially just breaking that girl's heart.
First of
And-
all, you shouldn't be cuffing a girl that fast.
yeah, but I'm
Honestly,
saying like,
give it like a 6 months.
but you know,
maybe
like
a
you're
year,
essentially
maybe a
breaking
year.
her heart.
Honestly
and-
though, but I for
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I want
yeah.
to
Give it
backtrack
to
a
me,
little
give it
bit.
to me,
I-
give it to me,
I've
give
been-
it
I've
to
been
me.
I've been eating a little
Let's
bit.
get
Hold
serious.
on.
Let's get serious.
All right, so honestly, I think personally, look, I understand what Josh says, and I agree 100% in the sense of you got to seek God first. I was 100%
Mm-hmm.
contrary to that. Like, shoot, a couple months ago, definitely, where I was like, nah, frick that noise. I just gotta do me. You know, definitely God is a center or is a pillar, but not the center. And I was wrong on that. I'm a man. I could say that, but I like it. Yeah, thank you.
I like it. Yeah, man. Hey, you know what?
Thank you, bro. Appreciate
I'm all about that. Bro.
Ladies,
So
ladies.
you do it.
Thanks, bro.
Females,
Accountability is
you
where it
do that,
counts.
you
You know what I'm
gotta,
saying?
like, one
Use
up
me
on
as an example. There you go.
Yeah, you
Learn
do.
off my
Yeah,
mistakes.
bro.
Yeah, no, and it's true. And like honestly speaking, and I would always do up my own problems. And I like, yeah, you know, God is a, and this when I say this, I don't mean this in any bad way, but He was a tool, not rather the source. And that was wrong. I was wrong on that. And then when I started centering Him in my life, honestly, my relationship grew and a flower grew, and that flower became a garden and it blossomed heavily. And I've learned that the moment that I switch Him into, and I put my female in God's role in the sense of like the idol, that's where the problem lies. And then when I switch, oh sorry, I was like. But when I switch roles, that's where the problems start. So I do agree on what both of you guys say in this essay that
was good.
God is the center and He should always be the center.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what I will have to contrary on that is that you do need experience, bro. Because let me hear you out.
So what is center? Oh, okay, go.
Because I've known, and I know you guys know too. I know, especially in the Christian community, bro, where a girl or a boy, I'm gonna say girls more because that's where I've seen it more, but they will fall for a straight like D-bag, bro, respectfully, and that guy is controlling, manipulative. He doesn't know what he wants, and they're stuck in the mindset where they're like, no, but I'm here to serve. I
love it. Keep going.
I'm like, I'm here to serve. I'm here to do. Oh no, I could fix him. This rah this rah that, and they're talking side of their neck, and they're loyal to this, respectfully, this pig, and you're like, bro, what's going on? So that's where experience is, and then you see guys where, you know, they become not mandilones. They don't become like simps. No, because there's a difference, but they become super submissive to their woman because they've never had that proper, like, you know, what the Bible states, you know, you got to be the man of the household. You got to know where to step. You got to be like, hey, you know what, like Saulo said, you got to know where to draw the line. And where do you learn through that? Like, yeah, dude, God is good. God is all this.
Ooh, I'm about to fire right now.
Like, if you don't have experience, it's like a fight, bro. You can hit the heavy bag all you want, but if you're not in there sparring or getting your hands dirty, you're not gonna know in the real deal, you know. And like, yeah, you can talk this big game, but the moment that she throws up a fit and you're like, no, baby, I'm so sorry, you know, you come back in and boom, you know, or like, you know, the moment you guys have a fight, you want to split, and like, Dios te dio una bendición, and you didn't know how to take care of it. So whose fault is it? Is it God's or is it yours?
It's yours. Yeah.
You know.
So listen, before I forget my question, you said you got to center God. So what is centering God in a relationship? That's the real question. What is centering God in your relationship? 2, if you're doing it, if you need experience, wouldn't that just be that you're relying on your own trust and you're relying on your own confidence and not on God? Because if you look up the definition faith, if you see what faith is, it's literally blindfolding yourself and walking the next step, knowing that the wood or whatever, the plank, will be put under you. It's knowing that or if you're climbing, it's knowing that the next step will be there blindly. So what does that mean? If you're doing it for experience and you're doing it, that means you're not walking in faith. That means you're relying on your own experience and not God. Because if you trust God, which is faith, that means you will pray on it and you will know it would come, and it was marriage and it's going to be right. That means you don't need experience because that's faith. But if you need experience, you're going based off of your own emotions, your own things, and you're not seeking the Lord and the righteousness. So already there, it's kind of like downfall. Already there, you're jumping into a relationship that's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't know, because you can get in a relationship and you can be together for a long time and still experience things, you know.
100%.
You still can.
You're gonna experience arguments.
But that's why my question is,
saying,
what is centering God? Because that's the real question. Because a lot of people confuse that. No, that's simple. It's like if I told you, how'd you get strong? And you say, oh, I go to the gym. there's a step. Oh, I hit arms, I hit legs, I hit this, and I meal prep. And so there's more to it. It's not just, following God.
So I think there was
So what is following God then?
So okay, so there's a part in the Bible, and I like, dude, I can't for the love of my life of me, I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's Abakul, but I could be wrong. But he gets visited by an angel of God, and he says, "Hey, go," and he's taking wheat in the enemy's territory, right? And as he's telling him, and he's scared, bro, and he's like, "Yo, bro," and an angel comes and he sits under the tree, and he's like, "Hey, go by your own strength, and everything will be taken care of," right? And he goes to become, I think, one of the best judges or one of the best kings of Israel. But what did he say? Go by your own strength, right? So God, yeah, he provides and everything's there, but there's a certain power that we have to experience that,
I like
Dios,
that. I like that.
Dios nos ha ponido adentro de nosotros where we can go. And he's like, all right, go.
So let me fire back. I don't know if it's Paul or Saul, but he says it's okay if you're alone because fall in love with God. But if you are and you do like someone, get married so you don't sin.
He's talking to those people that got no game.
It says in the Bible. It says in the Bible that a man leaves his mom and his dad to unite with one. Nowhere in the Bible does it ever say to date. Nowhere. It's always marriage. And I know times have changed and whatnot, but the Bible hasn't changed and God hasn't changed in the sense of like, that's why I'm saying if you write pros and cons, you will get more cons than pros. You will get more lust. You will get more urges to like do stuff that you shouldn't. You will do more like, you got people that would be like, oh yeah, okay. I'm not even going that far. First, let's go back to what is putting your relation, like you said, centering God in your relationship. What is that?
All right, I'm gonna say something, and then I'm gonna fall back into that question. But okay, if we state nothing about the Bible that says nothing about dating, brother, we also can't cherry pick and say, because the Bible also says women can't wear makeup. The Bible says that we can't shave our side of certain parts of our body.
That's true.
So wouldn't that apply certain things that just because the Bible doesn't state it doesn't mean we shouldn't do. So I understand where you come from, but those are giants that we have to face.
Those are good because those come from the time of Abraham though, and that's why Jesus came to basically not eliminate but to switch all that. And in the sense of like, and I'm not saying relationships are bad. Don't misinterpret. I'm not saying it's not bad. It's just what it leads to. You know what I'm saying? Like it also never says in the Bible not to drink. But you know what I'm saying?
Not to get drunk, yeah.
But drunk and drinking are two different things. Being drunk and drinking are two different things. So it doesn't really say don't drink. So it's a controversial. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but but you don't do it because what does it lead to? It leads to fighting. It leads to nasty thoughts. It leads to you being someone else. It leads to sexual thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So it leads to something else, and the relationship is the same way. There's no in between. It's either good or it's bad. You know what I'm saying? And what does the relationship offer you that a friendship can't offer you?
No, I get that, and I understand. I understand what you say.
Yeah.
If you ever need to say anything, just jump in, bro.
Yeah, jump in because you're not saying anything.
No. Yeah,
just analyzing everything.
I just don't want to.
You're out here looking like you never dated, bro.
Call him out, Josh. Call him out, Josh.
I mean, you guys both have good points. It really is. It's just like,
no,
bro. Like, I don't know. Because within, like I said earlier, you shouldn't really cuff somebody so fast, to be so like, oh, dude, let me get in it right away, To me, honestly, I really do think 6 months to maybe a year, like you can find out a lot about a person, man. Especially if they're putting on a little facade, in the beginning.
The honeymoon stage.
Yeah, within 6 months to a year, they're gonna drop that facade. That mask is gonna come off, and they're gonna be somebody different that they're not.
But
I've been through that, man. But women be changing up.
But I think. Don't we all change though? Like that's the thing. We all change with time. We all become different.
No, yeah, but I think
we all change.
I think it's a difference between changing into good. And
it's all changing into like something that's nasty or not good, man.
Yeah.
The only time you're gonna change good is with God, because people try to change and it's like you can't change by yourself.
I agree with that 100%.
I can't change by myself. I need God. I can't. I still struggle with stuff where I'm like, God, take this away from me. I want to be a better person, but I can't. My flesh. That's what it says with human it's impossible. With God, all things are possible. It's because we could only go so far in our human ability, and we need, I
got something to say about that, because I was talking with somebody a minute ago.
Here we go.
For a while, for a minute, For a minute, I thought they had changed, you know? I thought they had changed certain things about themselves. But it's like they only changed it for you, for that little moment. Okay, yeah. For that little moment. And it made me kind of a little bit upset, I guess.
That's normal, yeah.
Upset or like sad in a way, because it's like you only did that for me, but as soon as you got comfortable again, your old habits came back. But for me, when I was changing for the better, I was doing it for God. I wasn't doing it for you. So my old habits never came back.
There it is.
Everything that I'm changing for, it's literally going away, and they're not coming back. But it's because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for God.
So, I mean, it seems like the problem wasn't you. It seems like it was.
Really,
it was her.
I don't want to say that I completely, because not anybody's perfect, you know. Not anybody's perfect, but at the same time, it's like, but a lot of people lack accountability.
Yeah.
And that's why earlier when I was telling you, like, Daniel, accountability, I really like that in a person, because it's like it shows that you have growth, or it shows that you have growth, or you're willing to grow into something better.
Hey, no, he brings up a good point. He brings up a good point. But like, you see how people sometimes change just to kind of, get back in the groove. But then once they get comfortable, they start deviating. That's because you're leaning on your own thoughts. You're leaning on your own. You're on your own strength. It says lean on God. If you lean on God, everything's gonna be okay. Like, it's gonna be good. That's why I'm saying, what is centering God in your relationship? Like, what is it? Like give some examples of what is it? Like, if you tell me how do you get strong, I'll tell you. Like, okay, we'll start off by waking up early. Maybe take a cold shower, hit the gym. Start hitting, a bench, do this, do that, So what is centering your relationship to God? What is God being
individually? Are you talking about
in a relationship?
In a relationship.
In a relationship.
Okay.
Since we're saying, like, since some of us saying that relationship, do we need it for practice? Okay, so what is centering God in that relationship?
I think personally, what it is, dude, is doing His will, bro. Is realizing that
What's His will?
His will is just obedient. Like we talked. Oh, I don't think we talked about this, but I always give this example because this is perfect. King Saul was one of the first. Was the first king of Israel, and he was picked through disobedience of his people.
Mm-hmm.
But Samuel, even through the disobedience, said, "If you follow all the commandments and follow everything, this will be good." Mm-hmm. Right. So God was giving a second chance through there. But Saul, through his anxiety and his lack of faith, did a sacrifice that only Samuel could have done. And because Saul thought that he was going to be too late, he did the sacrifice. And Samuel was like basically called him, "Hey, idiot, like, what are you doing, bro?" Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. Like, geez, man, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to be late and we're going to lose the war." But Samuel said something important, which ties into what you say. He says, he calls him like basically, "Hey, idiot, don't you see that the obedience is much more better than any sacrifice?"
Mm-hmm.
So putting God in center is understanding that, hey, God is basically this table, He's the middle of it. Mm-hmm. And whatever situation you're going through, whatever, hey, we're fighting, we're having like problems with lust, we're having problems with communication, we're having problems with jealousy, whatever, like our plans is to get married, our plans is to have kids, what our plans is to whatever, you give it to God. And that is what centering it to God. Now, what is giving it to God? Giving it to God doesn't mean He's going to take it away. I think giving it to God just means let it be your will. And God knows what we want. God knows who we are. God knows what we fight with in the dark and what we give to Him. Sacrifice isn't always obedience. Isn't always physical.
I feel like it's like kind of all over the place, only in the sense because like it's not really like elaborating like on point where like what is centering your relationship.
Oh, okay.
To God, cause like, for example, like I said, like if I say like how do you get sore, like I go straight into the detail. Like, hey, you gotta go to muscle fatigue. Or you got to hit multiple reps. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going straight into like, boom. This is what you need to get strong. Oh, hey, you want to build up your endurance in running? Okay, every morning you got to wake up and you got to run a mile, and then after the next week you got to add another mile. So two, and then 3. So I'm going direct in. So like, what is centering God? since, you know what I'm saying? What is it?
Obedience.
Obedience. Okay. What are some obedience that you need in a relationship?
Well, can you re-elaborate?
Yeah, like what are some obedience? Because I know it says sexual whatever immorality is one of the worst ones, and it says to run. And it says any sexual thought is not from him; it's from the flesh. So what I'm trying to get at is, look at Joseph. He ran from sexual like thoughts, that sexual urges. That's what I'm saying. Like in a relationship, if you do pros and cons, there'll be more cons. There would be more pushing you towards like, wow, look at her, she looks good, and you start thinking other stuff as a man. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's not, but as a man, when I'm in a relationship, I'd be like, dude, look at that behind. Or I'd be like, dude, like, man, I really wanna, you know what I'm saying? Or dude, so you're getting closer to that stuff as opposed to running away from that stuff. That's why I'm like, okay, so what is centering God?
Nah,
I think that those thoughts are just normal. Though.
Yeah,
like,
that's biologically.
Those
bro.
are normal thoughts, but why would God put you in that?
But God didn't put you into that.
You did.
Yeah,
exactly. So is it a godly thing though to be
Yeah,
in that
it is,
relationship?
bro.
It is, but it's like that's just normal.
Yeah.
That's like saying. If
So-
you're married, you're never going to find somebody else attractive like you are. But
So if you're an
not
alcoholic and you're
thinking
trying to
on those
recover,
thoughts
are you
that
gonna be at the
have,
bar?
like, wanting to go to that.
So if you're an alcoholic and you're trying to recover, will you be at the bar?
No, but like think
that's
about
just
it.
different.
Yeah, that's
That's
different.
way different.
That's
like
what I'm saying. That's what I'm
that's
saying.
like saying you have an actual problem.
That's
with like sex
alcohol.
or like having
Yeah.
like, with lustful
Loyalty.
thoughts. It's like and loyalty. It's like okay, there in itself right there.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier, where you need to learn how to like understand your own emotions, understand how to communicate.
Yes.
You need to understand that you have a problem right now. I don't think it's time for me to get into something with anybody right now. I need to work on that issue that I have within myself. That means fall in love with God a lot deeper.
Okay.
And give
So
it
let
to
me ask you
God
this.
so that He can take
If
that
I-
from you.
Let me ask
If
you
I
this:
can-
do you get sexual thoughts?
100%,
yeah,
bro.
100%.
You get sexual thoughts,
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you love God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you run from it?
Because we're human.
Yeah. You're
It's the same.
Sometimes we use that too much as an excuse.
but
Like,
it's
why
like-
not run
No,
from
But
it?
what is
Okay.
like? How are you running from your thoughts? You mean do you
Running,
just-
running in the sense
It's
of
'cause
like,
you're saying
if
Okay.
you
running from your
know,
thoughts.
if you know, if you know that you have sexual thoughts, why be in a relationship where there's gonna be
I know.
where it's
But
gonna?
no
It's
way.
there.
But you're making it seem like
It's that easy.
it's so easy. You're making it seem like if you're in a covenant with God, you're never going to have that ever again.
No, no,
Bro, how
you're
you
going to
depressed?
have
Just
that.
don't be sad, bro.
Yeah, it's
You're
like,
going to
nah,
have
like,
that, and there'll be times when you fall. Even if
No,
you're
but I
not in
get
a
you, yeah.
relationship, like there'll be times where you fall. Like even I fall. You know what I'm saying? There's
But that's
times
the
when you
importance
fall.
of being in a godly relationship because
Yeah.
at that point you can talk to your woman and be like, hey, like I'm having these sexual thoughts, I'm having all this, like I have a feeling like we should sit down and pray, you know, like I need something, you know, and as a godly woman and a godly man, bro, that they'll probably sit there with you and pray over you and be like, hey, you know, like I rebuke these thoughts that you're having,
Okay.
take them out from you. It's like those are just challenges that you're gonna go through.
No,
Honestly,
and-
like
yeah.
I don't think they're ever just gonna go away.
No,
Like,
they're not
we're
gonna go
still
away.
Human,
And that's why it says que se casen. That's why Paul said que se casen.
Nah,
to get married.
man.
but at the same time, love doesn't have fear. That right there,
Oh,
it's sounding like you're having fear of getting into something with somebody because you're gonna have those thoughts. When it's like, no, dude, those thoughts are gonna come no matter what. That's like saying I
not-
shouldn't drive
No.
because there's car accidents every day.
No, don't.
It's like I mean, yeah, there's car accidents, but it's like, dude,
No,
if
but-
it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. You know.
So you,
It's like I don't know.
so you've been in a relationship before.
Yeah,
Was it a lot easier for you to have sex?
it was a lot easier.
It was a lot easier, right? Was temptation a little bit more higher, like knowing that it was there?
But I can say that I'm not so firm into God like that.
So why has cheating?
I'm not rooted into Him
Okay.
the way I should be. So
Okay.
I can be able to say no and just run from that, or tell the person.
So you shouldn't be in a relationship then.
That's
Nah,
why.
I don't think so.
But, no.
But-
It's
but
not that I
listen,
shouldn't
li-
be, but it's like you should work on certain
Yeah.
areas about
Look,
yourself,
look.
but you can work in that as well with somebody.
Yeah.
So I if I can kind of intrude here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, minutes.
honestly, okay, one, bro, I understand your standpoint because I've heard it and I've heard it. I've talked to people, but dating is for rooting out your insecurities, rooting out the things that you do not have to have for that marriage state. Yeah, it doesn't say that in
That's
the
just
Bible.
playing games, though. That's
I don't
playing
think so,
games with the
bro.
other couple and
I
with
don't think so.
yourself.
No, I don't think so
That's-
because
That's a communication.
exactly.
No,
Because
that's
look,
playing games
look.
because you're essentially like, okay, I'm rolling the dice on this one.
okay, bro. So
So
tell
you're
me
playing
this.
games.
So if let's say like when the girl and I, right? Let's say that we stayed friends until I was like, yeah, you know what?
Yes.
Ta-da! You know, I popped the ring, but we've never kissed. We've never
Yes.
talked about what makes us insecure, like emotionally, physically, sexually, all these things that need to be talked about. I'm
So-
not gonna wait till
So
marriage.
you need to be in a relationship to talk about that.
Yeah, dude, because I'm not gonna
No.
talk to my
That's-
friend that's girl that's like, hey man, this
100%
is what
not.
makes me feel insecure about
This
my
is what
body,
has-
you know?
This
Yeah,
is what
no,
has
that's true.
changed with this generation. That you need to be in a relationship to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, because that's
When you
intimate.
can when you can have a close friend, but there it is. If you have a good relationship with God and you're praying, you're saying, God, como que dijo de Kisis? There's a guy super big. What he did is pray for a lady, right? She didn't even know him. She was like, God, I love that girl. Not love, like she's very beautiful. I want that one, God. I've been so good to you, God. Like I've been following what you're saying. He prayed for 4 years. And then that girl's friend was like, they were together and he was like, I've been praying for her, but I think I made a mistake. I don't think God wants me to be with her. And she was like, no, keep praying because she's finally starting to ask about you. They hung out as friends and they didn't kiss at all. It was strictly friendship. That
Wait.
means
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut you off there.
Yeah.
Because I do know that story. I know
Yeah.
about the kissing and everything. One, that friendship was one-sided only.
What do you mean it was one-sided?
Hey, Kisses wanted something, but the girl didn't. So the friendship was one-sided.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
one-sided.
He wanted her, but he didn't want.
was
Yeah, she
chasing
didn't
for
want nothing.
something,
Yeah.
and she wasn't reciprocating. She was
Yeah.
pulling away while he was chasing.
Yes.
But then, with him praying and saying, "I think I made a mistake," he had to let go of her from the deepest part of his heart and allow God to really sit in the throne of his heart.
Could be
and
it,
then
yeah.
That's when that girl finally started seeing him as a man that she wanted to be with. She didn't
Yeah.
just. It wasn't just praying, and then she started seeing him. No, he had to fully let go of her, so God can be like, okay,
Yeah, but
now you're ready,
and-
I can give her to you.
and
Now,
that's
she
what- and
was your
that's-
woman, but now I can give her to you.
And that's what I'm saying. And when she finally recognized him, they were hanging out. It wasn't none of this like, oh, we're friends or we're in a relationship and let's go on vacation. Like what kind of stuff is that? Let's go on vacation where it's a hotel by yourself. Like he literally, it was strictly and no kissing. It was strictly hanging out. And guess what? They're perfectly married. It's perfect. Why? Because God was the foundation. God was the one that was in the middle. And he said, no, you know what? I love this girl and I want to give her everything I possibly can. And I'm not going to kiss her until the day we get married, until we do our vows, until like, you know what I'm saying? Everything's set in stone and God is in the middle.
Okay, let me say
And,
this.
and it says what God brings together, no man can break apart.
That's facts. But let me say this now.
That's
That's
right.
fact.
Yeah, he's
That's
right.
fact.
Yeah, he's
I gotta
speaking
give him
true.
that. Okay, let me see this. Let's say within 1 year he was praying, and
Yeah.
the girl ended up saying like, oh yeah, why not? You know, like let me do it. You know,
Mhm.
just like that. Do you think the kisses would have fell?
Possibly.
Because he was so fond of
Depending,
the idea of being
no,
with her.
in a year, I don't know how strong he was with God, but in 4 years, I think by 4
That's what
years,
I'm saying though.
he was already
within,
stronger.
Within 4 years, maybe
Yeah.
that was God's plan.
Yeah,
Maybe that was
but
God's plan all
even if
along.
that's God's plan, he knew if that was the case, God knew, okay, he's not ready.
That's why.
But even when he
that's
was
why
ready,
he had to
but
let
the
go
thing
of
is,
her from the very deepest
yeah,
part of his heart.
but what I'm trying to get at is even when he was ready, they still didn't date. It wasn't boyfriend and girlfriend. It was strictly nosotros somos amigos. We're friends and we're gonna work on this. But they still talked about their weaknesses, their strengths. They hung out with each other, so
But-
they knew what they
know.
offered
But
to each
within
other.
all that, they knew where all that was leading to. They knew it
Yes.
was leading to marriage.
But that's what I'm trying to
that's
get
like
at,
saying,
dude.
That's like saying, no, look, if I have a female friend and I like her and
Yeah.
I want to be with you, I would tell her straight up. I'm like, hey, dude, like I like you.
Okay, but there you
and
go
I
right
see-
there.
I see this going somewhere. Like I can probably marry you in the future, but I'd like to get to
There
know
you go right
in a
there. That's
deeper
what I'm
level.
trying to get at. That
Be-
means you're not
No, but-
centering it on
but it's
God.
like,
But the thing is,
That's not centering it on God, because if you like
no,
her,
because I could say
no,
like
'cause
personally,
you can still center God.
yeah,
No,
yeah, because
okay,
still
so
center God in that.
why
it this way.
listen, why then they do this? When guys get in a relationship, one, they deviate from their friends, they deviate from the gym, they get fat. Two, they deviate from church.
Okay, but
There's a reason to
that's
that.
the guy. That's his problem.
And the girl
not
too.
Not actually having God in the center. of
That's
his
what I'm
heart.
trying to get
No,
at.
but
So
that's
why would
different.
you date?
That's different. No, it's because
That means you're
now-
not ready to date.
It's because now you're talking about people who
No,
aren't in
yeah.
love with God, and then people who are in love with God.
No,
but then now you're
dude.
saying now
Well,
you're
not just
adding all
that.
these things from people who are not in love into a person who is in love with God. It's
I-
like if you
Yeah.
are, you're not really gonna fall.
Wouldn't- wouldn't-
like,
Well,
wouldn't
not
you-
just that, bro.
Wouldn't you want to
I-
give? Wouldn't you want to give that advice? You have the key to success. You have the key to like be able to have a happy marriage, wouldn't you want to give that to someone else? Wouldn't you want to tell them like, hey, I would wait and I would pray on God first. I would let God give you an answer.
Yeah, but why do you think they say that when you get into a relationship, he would not let there be peace in that relationship? Why do you think they say that? Because it's true. If you're in a relationship with somebody or you're trying to court somebody, you're trying to get to know somebody, there's not going to be peace because God doesn't want you there.
Then
God
that's
is the king of
essentially
peace.
that's just essentially getting hurt.
No.
That's just your heart getting broken, getting hurt, and to avoid all that, like they were saying,
honestly, if I'm gonna keep it a buck, I don't think it is because they're not being peace. It will happen fast.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be within
how
years
is
that
okay?
there won't be
So
peace.
so how is
where he shows you there's no peace?
But you just said that the girl you were talking to, you thought she changed, but then you got sad. That's not peace. That's you getting hurt.
That's what I'm saying though. I wasn't so rooted into, and for me personally, I wasn't so rooted into God to be like, you know what, this isn't it. It isn't until now at this moment where it's like,
bro, everything you're saying is like literally kind of like what I'm saying.
No,
because
you're saying about you're talking about
what Saulo
it's two different things. One is like somebody who's actually rooted into God, like Kisses was.
Yes,
but then you're talking about me who is in love with God, but isn't still fully rooted into God.
Into it.
So that's what I'm saying.
It's still kind of different.
Okay, no, it's not. It's bro. It's not. Sorry, I'm cutting this guy off.
Let him talk.
Let me hear him talk.
Yeah, I want to hear him.
Because at this point, I feel like you're like victimizing, not victimizing. You're making dating as an evil thing when it's not, because it really is something like, look. I don't know about this cat. I don't know about his relationship. That's awesome. But we don't live in that society, bro. We live in a society where it's quick and go. And we are Christians, but we are not Christians back in the day. We're not Christians there. We're Christians here now. And
that's probably why divorce is 80% high. It's at 80%.
But this is why we're
from women.
And this is why we're different though. But the problem, or what I see here, is that like, look, all right, so
80%.
So yeah, but like, let's say Saulo struggles with weed, bro. Let's say I struggle with like loyalty. Let's say that you struggle with lust, right? We all struggle differently, right? Yeah, sure. Maybe for Saulo, it might not be a problem for him to be 4 years waiting for that girl because he doesn't worry about that stuff. He's just like, hey, man, my war is with weed. And my problem is, okay, lust or like with women, what you're throwing right?
Yeah.
So, but for him, he's like, sorry. And like for him, he's like, hey, man, I struggle with weed, so I could pass by a weed shop and I'm like, dude, just don't smoke. But the moment a woman walks in front of me, estoy bobeando, you know?
Yeah.
So, and our wars are different. And for you is, like I said, lust. Yeah, maybe you can't be alone in a room for too long because you're like, hey, man, it's free. So, boom, right there. So, at this point, what I'm saying is that, like, dating isn't really the issue. It really seems like the problem, it really relies in the person.
Yeah.
So, if the person is like, hey, dude, at this point, if I don't have this, like, if I need to be friends with this girl because I know that the moment I fall in love with this chick, you know, vamos a hacer todo y más y me voy a alejar con Dios, bro, then the problem is you. Because God is here. He's a God of second chances, and God is not a liar. So if God is here to help you with that problem, it's here to uplift you. And it's like, yeah, dude, this woman is here to help you and is going to be there for you. But like Saulo said, if you guys are saying like, let's put God put in the middle, you know what, babe, I love you, but like, we're tripping, dude. We're really falling, and I don't want to lose God's blessing. So let's really sit down and let's figure out what's the issue, and if it's necessary, let's go seek some help. You know, but the dating isn't the problem because if you don't deal with, if I don't deal with it now, you're gonna deal with it when you're married, dude. Yeah. Because the problem doesn't go away. You're just
I got something to say.
You're just burying it.
Oh my
so
goodness.
I'm gonna say it quick because the time's running out. Yeah. Okay, but essentially, then that just means you're not in love with God. Then
no,
like everything. No, because it says if you what does it say?
So. That's all or nothing.
No. There's no hot and there's no in between. It says either caliente o frío, pero no estés en el medio because no. He throws you up. He prefers you to be in the world rather than to be like, you know what I'm saying. There's no in between.
But that's like
I
don't believe that.
Dude.
I don't believe that because
then that's already
even
wrong.
I don't believe I don't believe that you can't fall even if you
can fall.
Yeah,
you can fall.
Even some of the apostles in the Bible,
yes, they fell. Yes,
bro,
but
he killed his
listen,
own homie for a woman.
Listen. You guys are trying to find loopholes though.
No. It's not loopholes. It's just that
reality.
Right now, I don't think this is a black and white, and you're making it as a black and white thing.
Oh damn! Sorry, my fault. It is a black and white thing, dude.
No, but
it is everything in the word. No, there's no gray.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of
with
gray.
God. There's no
Sprinkle a
gray.
little bit of
No,
gray, I
no.
guess.
Okay.
Listen. No, listen. I'm gonna tell you guys. Straight up.
Sprinkle a little
And
bit.
if you look it up, there is no gray with God. It's only.
No, but gray with us because we're human. We're not
Yes,
God.
Yeah,
but that's
we're
why
not
I'm
God,
saying, why jump into all that? Instead, fall in love with God first.
Sounds like it's
Fall
fear.
in
Yeah,
love
it
with
does sound like
God
it's
and His
fear.
righteousness, and everything else will come. Like that is believing. Like if you
Okay.
fall
No,
in love,
I believe-
Okay,
yeah.
let me tell you this right now. Then
yeah,
let's say you fall in love with God.
yes,
Okay, let's say you fall in love with God.
yes,
All His righteousness is given to you,
yes,
and He brings you a female.
yes.
You're gonna have to date her, right?
Nope. I'm not dating. I'm kissing. What I'm doing is I'm praying on that first. If somebody comes, I'll be like, God, is this the one? Give me a sign before I hop in. Give me a sign. That's centering that relationship. Or if I like that girl, I'm gonna say, God, I like her. It's in the Bible. Ask and I
to
will
me.
receive. I like her. I think she's gorgeous, and I see good qualities in her. Do you see those same qualities? Help me hate what you hate, and help me love what you love.
So right in that moment,
So-
you're gonna marry her.
No, I'm gonna wait, and then if God responds, I'll be like, okay, and we're gonna hang out, and we're still gonna talk. We're not gonna date. We're not gonna kiss. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna talk, and we're just gonna, be hanging out. When the time is right,
I just think
and
that's a
God says,
tactic, though.
hey, estás listo? You're ready. You're ready to go. You're pretty strong. Yes, you're still gonna fall here and there on some stuff, but hey, you're pretty strong. Now's the time. Be like, okay, God, I'm listening. I'm obeying. Now's the time. I'm gonna marry, and I'm gonna say what you said, and I'm gonna go multiply, just like you said. But that's centering your relationship on God,
But I
not
think that's just
all
the
this
wording
extra
that
stuff.
you're using, honestly.
Oh, dude,
To me, I think it's
I
the
think that just-
wording
that just
because
works for you.
if you're going out on
no,
dates- if you're
listen.
going out on dates with a
If you do
female
that,
friend,
if
you're
you
just-
if you
you're
do that,
dating her,
and
you're
you do
courting
that,
her, but you guys are not
No.
dating. Like you guys are not in a relationship.
exactly.
You're just dating. Like you're going out on dates.
You're going on a date, but
And
that you're not
dating,
dating.
but you're not in a relationship.
You're not
That's different.
kissing. You're not doing that
Yeah,
relation
I mean,
stuff. You're that's what I'm saying.
If you want to go that deep and not kiss them and everything,
That's what I'm saying.
cool,
Like
but-
relationship, lo único que te va a traer is there's some good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not crapping on relationship. Like there's good stuff. You get to meet the person. You get to get intense where you get to you get to learn. But you can do all that in a relationship, like friendship, without like kissing, without doing all that, and truly falling in love with God.
but
I get that. But like honestly, like I said, okay, like let's say for my girl, dude, we both know, and we talked about it. We will always put God first. If God came to this moment and said, "Hey, this isn't for you guys," whether we want it or not, we know what we have to do, right? But the thing is, here, dude, we need to figure each other out, and we gotta say, because I know for sure that I like one of my old leaders, Odalis, I don't speak to her the way I speak to my girl. I don't tell her the things that I tell my girl because I know for sure, and I told her this: I'm seeking a wife in her.
Yeah.
And I know
But you
that
like Fatima, right?
yeah, dude.
Fatima, let's go.
And I know that I can go up to her and I could be like, yo, you know what? I like Saulo said, I struggle with this, and this, and this, and this.
But if you
And
like
let's
her like
figure-
that, and you want a relationship,
But
why-
I could also say that I know that my peace does not rely on Fatima. It relies
Yeah.
on God.
Exactly.
But if God sent me her, which I know He did, right? I know that I'm trusting her because she has the same presence of God that He has in me. So He can talk to her through me or through her. And I know that I'm not sinning if I'm putting, hey babe, I'm really struggling with this, because at the end of the day, my peace does not come from her; it comes from Him. So, I know I don't have pain or I don't have guilt if I'm dating her. So that's why I know it's not bad.
But
So
what
it's not in the book.
To me,
Wouldn't
it all
you-
just sounds like fear, dude.
Wouldn't
Like,
you
honestly,
be able?
if
Wouldn't you be
I'm
able to
gonna
get all
keep it
that
real.
just as friends?
No, I wouldn't, because I'm not going to talk to my friend Odalis the way I speak to my girl.
But you like her,
because,
though.
Yeah, I love her. Yeah, for sure. And like that's the thing where like I know I can.
So before you dated her, did you pray to God? Before you dated, like before you started dating or doing anything like dating wise, did you pray to God first and say, "Hey God, like
oh yeah, dude.
I want this girl. This is
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
want.
yeah.
This is what I want from her."
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like that's why, and I told my story. That's why I feel I know God spoke to me when those final moments were gonna come to an end, because He knew what I wanted in a woman. The thing is, I was so stupid stubborn that I didn't, and that was my fault. And like Sal and I said, dude, we're human. We're not God, and it's one of those things that like it trips us out. So I think it really falls into fear, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think there's a reason why we fear things. It's just maybe that's just a specific giant that person is facing. But again,
it's not fear. It's the fact that you truly want to get married. And you truly want to give her everything you possibly can.
how do you know God doesn't want to give you a relationship?
And how do I know God? Because I know I'm not ready. Because I've talked to God.
But you,
like I
that's
said,
you. But
like
like
I said-
that's not everybody else.
No,
though.
that you're confusing that. if I know
You said
no
it. I'm not ready.
no, that's why. If I'm not ready, God knows that He's like, okay, no estás listo.
So
Because I'm admitting, I'm showing my accountability to God, and I'm saying, okay, why? Because I'm not fully in love with God yet. Like I love God. I think people are confused that I love God, but I'm not fully in love with Him. There's another level. There's like 2 more levels. There's another
how
level.
do you know that God didn't send her for you to get closer? Because God will send. God will send. I swear.
100%. God's not gonna send you someone that's gonna make you deviate from Him.
No, but
God is a
like,
selfish God. No.
That's what he was saying earlier, dude. That's
He's not gonna
person
send
itself, dude.
He's not gonna send you someone like no.
Like I'm saying, I said this earlier, dude. That's like you getting in a marriage and thinking that you're never gonna have lustful thoughts about anybody
You're
else.
gonna have lustful thoughts. Yes.
Have them even when you're married. You could be married and be in a godly relationship and have God in the center of your relationship, be in love with God completely. But that doesn't mean
no.
You guys
are misinterpreting.
And you can already be married with the woman God sent you.
You guys are misinterpreting it, dude. Lust is always gonna be there, and you guys are trying to use an excuse. Lust is always like it's gonna be there. There's gonna be attacks where you're gonna get. Yes, we're all born sinners. We're gonna, we fall short. It says we fall short, and God gives us an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But He is not gonna send you someone like no. It's not like that. He's not gonna send you someone to like we do that like boyfriend and girlfriend to be able to help you and stuff like no. A friend maybe.
But it says where though. That's the thing. But it says where. It doesn't say that in the Bible.
It doesn't say in the Bible to have a boyfriend and girlfriend. It says go and get married.
But I mean, back in the day, bro, it
doesn't matter though.
But back in the day, there was already like okay, you can have like 5 women, and you'd be like, oh, that's cool, that's normal. Can I have that now?
Jesus, after the death of Jesus, now it says go and get married. Don't fall into sin. Go and get married. Period.
Okay, but he didn't. He didn't say how you need to get married. How you need to go through the process of getting married. Because maybe
he said no. He does
to get married.
He does. He says si no tienen unos, if you guys aren't together, like or you don't have someone, it's okay. Fall in love with God. Like God's like
Paul
everything.
Said that.
Paul said it, and then he said, but if you are with someone or want someone, get married. It says so you don't fall. So you don't sin.
Look, but listen, man. We're like marriage falls into economical, emotional.
No, that's
mental,
that. No,
all those things fall into that place, dude.
No,
and I'm okay.
That's completely incorrect.
Okay, but now you're taking out everything.
That's not relying on God.
You're taking out everything that is a part of the world that actually needs to
that plays into the world. Jesus said, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Give to mine what is mine." So what I'm saying here is that a marriage isn't just, dude. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter how spiritual you are, but if you're not emotionally sound, mentally sound, your relationship will not last. I don't care how many times you drop into your knees and you'll be like, God, I love you. But if you're not willing to work on yourself and be willing to be like, hey, I want to get to know this person right now. And I know my girl doesn't work the way I work. And I need to know, like, God will talk to me. But I need to go in there and get my hands dirty. And
because that contradicts itself. It says because you have to be spiritually strong. If you're spiritually strong, you're not going through that.
We're flesh, we're bones, and we're blood, and we're also spirit. Yeah. So we have to work with what we have. We're not just spirit. So that's what I'm telling you.
No,
I'm telling you.
Everything. The war is with spirit. Everything is spiritual. If you rely on God,
I'm telling you that you're making it seem like you're not gonna go through anything. That's why God says, "Give it all to me." That's why He says, "Give it all to me."
I'm saying
He knows Himself that you're going to go through things here.
Yes.
That's literally the reason why God tells you, "Give it all to me."
Yes.
Because He understands that you're going to go through things in this world that are out of like your control. So just give it to me and I'll take control over it.
Yes.
He literally knows
fall
all
short.
Of that.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean you don't love Him.
Yeah, no,
that doesn't mean He's not the center of your relationship.
Matter of fact, that means
what does it say? If you love me, what does it say? If you love me,
keep all my commands.
Keep all my commands.
Yes, I know it. So you can keep all His commands, bro. That doesn't mean you're not gonna fall.
Bro, that means that you love Him more because you're trusting Him with something that you don't feel that you're strong enough for.
It also says it. The righteous man falls 7 times and 7 times he gets back. That's 7 times he gets back up. Yeah. So He understands all these things are gonna happen. You're making it seem like you're taking out all these extra things that are in the world. You're making it seem like none of it happens, and it's just black and there's just
like,
and it happens, dude.
Black and white like that.
All those stuff happens. Like it happens. You fall short. But I'm telling you, if you're in a relationship, you're more likely to fall short.
Yeah, well, no, that depends on the person that you are, though. That depends on
no. But I'm not saying
unequally yoked.
I'm not saying everyone.
That's what it sounds like.
A good majority of people in a relationship, you're likely to fall faster and more short in a relationship with God. You're likely to fall more short, faster, and stronger than if you weren't in a relationship. You will still fall. Don't get me wrong. Like even in not being in a relationship, there could be times where you fall and you'd be like, man,
okay, so
look at this girl.
So I'm gonna tell you what my pastor
wait,
said.
Wait, real quick. But the difference is, if you love her, why would you want to fall short with her? If you truly love her, because the moment you sleep with her, what you have is going to her.
Wait, no, that's why you need to really love God, because God
yes, that's what I'm saying.
No,
but if you really love God, you're putting Him first.
Wait, right there, dude. Because now you're saying that no human will ever let you down.
What do you mean?
That's what it sounds like. No human will ever let you down. That's how you just said right now. Why would you want to fall short with her? You're making it seem like you're never gonna fall short with her.
Yeah, dude.
You can love her
no. I'm talking.
You're always going to fall short. People
I'm not talking about falling short.
No.
I'm not talking about falling short in the sense of like, oh, dang, you don't pay the rent. I'm talking about falling short in the sense of like, listen, if I love this girl, I want to be so strong with God where I don't fall in the sense of like, where I don't have sex with her before marriage,
bro. But
because that is a curse. It's a curse.
But there's so much more.
Why would you want to pass? How? Why would you want to pass on a curse to somebody you truly love?
Man, listen. Okay, it's like saying like I'm never gonna fall in love, and I had this issue. I never wanted to get into relationships because I knew that I had baggage that I knew people weren't ready for, and that was depriving me from not just relationships, but with friendships and all those things. So God doesn't fly that way, man. And I'm telling you, like, I really does seem like, look, I'll tell you the same thing that Pastor told us. No se esperen. Don't wait too long to get married, because, like you said, there is in a way sense of failure in that aspect. Now he did say, like, you know what, like he said, seek a wife, like Saulo said, seek a wife. Don't seek a girlfriend. But seeking a wife means, hey, let's get to know each other, and then boom, whenever God gives us the green light, He knows where we're at. He knows our struggles. He knows if you struggle with lust. He knows if you struggle with jealousy. He knows if you struggle with problems. Whatever the situation is, He knows you, bro. Because, again, the world isn't just black and white. It's shivered with grays. And, again, although God is black and white, He knows He made an imperfect world, or we made it imperfect. So with that being said, look, dude, the thing is, a relationship, dating, if dating works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, great. But you have, at the end of the day, you got to know the person, and you got to know that, hey, look, I can pray for Fatima all I want, but at the end of the day, dude, I know God will tell me, Selene, how am I going to know that I need to work with jealousy if I've never been on a date, or if I've never had a girlfriend? How do you know you're going to work with jealousy because
that's just you relying on your stuff then, bro. That's just you relying on it because, listen, because
I'm telling you, no, because I've seen homies and I've seen friends that are deep in the trenches of God, and the moment that they get married, dude, they become a possessive demon, bro. And they'll be like, no, my woman is this, my. It doesn't matter. And they're people that I believe that can move mountains. But the thing is, they become so blind because they knew, A, they didn't want to get counseling, or B, they didn't want to hear it out. And they don't want to hear it out. They don't want to get themselves like told, like, hey, man. And it's true. It's true, because I've seen it. And again, I told her this like previous, like, hey, man, like, I know the moment that I'm ready, because there's certain things that I need to weed out. This dating is very important to us, because I know as Selene, I'm not ready. I'm not a full man yet for her. And I know that there's things that God is working with her that she's maybe not a full woman for me yet. But we need to go through this stage, this burning, this purification, where we need to know, like, hey, lustful thoughts, jealousy, anger, whatever it is, dude, we need to go through that purification, and we're only going to share those if we're dating, not if she's my friend. And again, if that works for you, fantastic, dude. But I know for me, and I can speak for Saulo, like, I'm not going to share that with my friend. No, I want my girl to be, again, we belong to God, but this relationship is ours and it's God's. But I want to have that intimacy with that person alone, and that is it, and that doesn't mean that. Does that mean that I don't love God? Does that mean that I'm not willing to die or live for Him? No. Like I said, I'm willing to put our relationship there, boom. But sometimes God wants to give you rather than take. So here, take this blessing, take this, and learn off. It's like getting a new weapon. Learn it. Learn it. Have fun with it. Yeah, exactly. Just be good at it. But you're not going to be good at it if you don't know how to play with it, or if you don't know how to, like, use it. And it's one of those things. It's like you got to learn how to use a relationship. You got to learn how to use dating. So when you get to dating, when you get to marriage, okay, I remember she got jealous. I remember why she get jealous. Oh, she started yelling at me. She got mad. Why she get mad? Because she saw me talking to some other girl that I shouldn't be talking to. Oh, he got really quiet. Why did he get really quiet? Oh, because he saw me texting some dude that he told me not to text. What's going on? Rather than me being like, oh, screw it, I'm just gonna go to the gym for 4 hours, or I'm just gonna go hang out with my girls. No. Babe, let's sit down and let's talk it out. If you didn't do that in your dating, I sure as I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts, you won't do it when you're married, bro. You're gonna be a grumpy old man or grumpy old woman, and you're gonna be sitting over there saying, "I hate my husband, I hate my wife, I hate my marriage," and now you're that. But again,
well, I'm 100%. I'm 100% that if you rely on God, truly rely on God, not stuff like 50-50, and no, I mean truly rely on God, and you give everything, that relationship's gonna work. Even if you guys are just friends, because it says God's not gonna betray you. God's not gonna.
He's strong enough to do that.
He's not gonna let you down. That. So what does that mean? If he's not gonna let you down, that means if you're willing to move yourself from that relationship culture and just be friends. When you fast, what do? You deny yourself from something that's there, and God blesses you. Because why? Because you're doing something and you're denying something. So if you deny yourself from the world, from these worldly things, relationship, if you deny yourself and you say, I'm going to search God first and I'm going to pray on it and we're just going to be friends and we're going to talk about stuff. And if she's not willing to listen, then she wasn't the right one from start. Gecko, period. But anyways, you're going to deny yourself. You're telling me that if you deny yourself, God's not going to be like, let me lift this guy up righteously. Let me give him what he's asking for. Look at this guy. He is denying himself to try to bring himself as pure as possible. And we're not perfect, but you should always try to strive to be like Jesus. You should always try to strive. Even if we fall short, you should always try to strive. And so if you deny yourself from all that, you're telling me that God's not going to bless you. You're telling me that God's not going to give you that marriage and be like, hey, I'm bringing you two together. No one's gonna break this apart.
No, it's not.
That's having doubts, bro.
But there's a difference between surviving and living.
No. Because you're putting surviving. You're relying on your own stuff.
But the thing is, again,
it's like me saying, oh my God, I gotta eat and I gotta drink. To live, you gotta eat and you gotta drink, right?
Yeah.
You gotta live and eat.
Yeah.
But if I deny myself for 40 days and I'm spiritually strong with God, 40 days without eating. Okay, you're not gonna die. You're gonna come out glowing. Why? Because you're denying your flesh. You're doing the impossible. So you're saying it's not possible. Basically, if you're not friends, you're saying, if you're not girlfriend and boyfriend, and you're not experiencing talking to see if you're jealous. If I'm not, you know what I'm saying? That means no, because
but I guess
you deny yourself.
That's 360ing back to what Saulo said, though, because I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, bro. Off of marriages, we can even ask our own parents. There is much more than spirituality.
It's 100% spirituality. Yes, there's other works. No, once you're married, there's gonna be like arguments and stuff. Yes, of course.
Not just arguments, bro, but you gotta also know like, can I vibe with this person? Can I play with this person?
You can do that regularly. If I fast, I need food though. Like I need snacks. I need food to survive.
That. But I guess what I'm trying to say.
Oh, do you not?
No, yeah. But I'm trying. But I'm trying to say here is that like, dude, we as humans are much more than just spiritual stuff. We as humans. Okay, you're telling me. Okay, both of you.
Wait. Do
you dedicate your time 100% of the time to God? Do you dedicate?
No.
Okay. Why? That's you guys are sinning
because I fall short.
Fall short. Exactly.
Yeah.
So why don't you do it?
Why don't I do it?
Try to be perfect.
Because I'm trying to be sanctified. Sanctification is a process.
What's stopping? It's a process, right? Yeah. Just like a relationship, it's a process.
Yes.
That's where dating comes in.
No, you're trying to find logic on it in relationship and God.
But
there's no logic.
God isn't logic, though.
No,
God isn't logic.
God's thoughts are bigger. But listen, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. I need bread though. I need food to survive.
Yeah.
Scientifically and body food, we need bread. We need water. So you're telling me that Jesus and Moses fasted for 40 days and didn't eat. You're telling me that I can't fast for 40 days and so you're telling me that I would die because I need food, because you're saying you need to be in a relationship to experience that person, to know knowledge.
That's why, again, that's where reiterating myself. I'm telling you, if it works for you, it works for you. But if it works for me,
but listen, this is what you're saying. If it works for you, the method I'm telling you will work for you 100%. If you deny yourself and you believe in God, that relationship will come up on top. So yours is a 50-50. Mine is a 100%. If you put God first and you deny your flesh and you deny that and you run from sin, like I'm still in the process of running. Like I still suck at it, But when it comes time, when God, when I'm
Buddies,
stronger,
but like fear's always gonna be there though. Like
No,
fear,
this isn't fear.
temptation, all these
this
things.
isn't fear.
I'm telling you.
This is wanting to
no.
actually be
Okay,
with
can
God.
you elaborate, dude, when you're saying run from sin?
Yeah,
run from sin.
Because it's like
run from sin. In
To
the
me,
sense,
right now, it sounds like you're talking about an unequally yoked relationship.
No,
where that
run from
girl is
sin.
tempting you
Listen,
to
listen,
do
listen.
something that you
Yeah.
shouldn't do, or
Listen.
you're tempting that
No,
girl to
listen.
do something that you shouldn't be doing yourself.
let me explain. Let me
And
explain
either
that.
or is going to.
When I
fall.
say run from sin, listen, sin is out there. We're gonna fall short, but you can try to run away from it. If you know that Instagram is the urges of you, like once you go on Instagram, you see a girl and that like arouses you in the sense to like now you want to kind of do stuff in the restroom, then delete Instagram. You know what I'm saying? You run from it. You try to run from it. We fall short, yes, but you can always try to run from it. And if you know that, you know what I'm saying, everyone knows in relationship that happens where you look at a girl, like run from it. Just run. Deny your flesh. If you deny your flesh, God is going to prevail for you. He is not going to let you down if you try, but we fall short, yes. I'm not
But
saying
maybe
we
you
don't.
could just deny it and run at that moment. Maybe you could be like, hey, babe, right now I'm having these thoughts and I don't feel safe for myself to be around you.
Yes.
Because I'm going
But
through
the same way you fall short.
I need to be alone right now with God and I need to give it to Him.
But the
because
same
I'm
way you
falling
fall
short
short,
right now.
the same way you fall short, that other person could fall short. And it can be, because the enemy's strong too. The enemy is strong too. Don't think he's not. It can be to where you both fall short at the same time. So now you're both not supporting yourself, and instead you cave. Because that's essentially kind of what caving is.
Okay, but...
And if
like
that's the
you're
case,
saying,
that's why I'm saying run from it. Deny
dude,
your flesh.
but
If you
Because
deny it...
it really sounds like again,
You're saying run from relationships.
yeah,
That's what I'm hearing. Just run from
Well,
relationships.
I apologize. I mean...
Don't apologize because again, there's people that out there that think the same way, man. Like
yeah,
again,
that's,
don't-
what I'm interpreting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're in a
You're saying that.
relationship...
but don't apologize.
If you're in a relationship and you're strong and you're not caving into that stuff and and you see that you're not looking at your girl like all sexually, or you're not thinking
doubt
bad
that that's on
thoughts, or
yeah,
if you're
I doubt it.
if you're not doing all
we're
that
men,
stuff,
bro.
Yeah, come on.
then continue. But if you're doing that stuff, like why not run from it? You know what I'm saying? Why not be like, hey, you know what? We need a little break, because it happens. It happens when people are in a relationship. God splits them up and then brings them back together. Why? So they both fall in love with God first. He's like, okay, let me. You guys all fall in love with me first, and then ding, you guys come together and you guys have a perfect marriage because it's happened.
How about this? Because I know the time has been like pretty long.
Oh,
how
yeah.
about,
Man,
how about
this video's gonna be hard to edit.
are you guys down to have this next week? We'll draw some pointers and some questions.
Yeah, we'll continue. Okay,
Are
I'm
you down for
down.
that?
Yeah, I'm down.
Alright,
For
set
that.
it.
I'm down for
Next
that.
week. Next
Dude,
week.
this is gonna be hard to edit. This is gonna be long.
I'm so sorry.
All right, but all right. So I'll end it with this. Hey, remember, despite everything, God loves you. God cherishes you. God is always with you. And I'll end it with
Hey, we love you and thank you guys so much for watching.
Like and subscribe. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, share it too to your mom. Bye.